Welcome back to Chapter 5, and we are going to talk about monitoring food and beverage production costs. All right, starting with question number 1. Belinda Gates is the manager of the Roasted Pepper restaurant. Belinda records her monthly food and beverage sales separately. She follows her USAR recommendations and thus separately calculates her product cost for food, beverage, and her overall cost of sales. Let's help Belinda complete this portion of her monthly operating records by calculating her total cost of sales and all of her cost of sales percentages for the month. All right, so we see in this problem, we have our food sales at $90,000, and that's 75% of her sales because her beverages are $30,000. That's 25% of her sales. Totals up to $120,000 worth of sales, which is 100% of her sales. All right. Then we want to calculate the cost of these sales. So let's go ahead and let's add together our food and beverages. So all of our food and beverages cost total of $31,800 to produce, right? And when we look at our food cost, if we take our food cost and we divide that by our food sales, we get 28%. And if we take our beverage cost and divide that by the $30,000 in beverage sales, okay, we get a 22% cost for that. And then our total cost for the cost of sales divided by our total sales is going to be 26.5%. So with this information, we can see that our food cost percentage is again 20%, our beverages are 22%. Now if our menu mix happens to change, let's say we sell more beverages per guest. You know, we have guests that are stepping away from having water, maybe they have iced tea, they have margaritas, they have something like that, and increases that increases the beverage sales, thus increases the beverage cost. Okay, it's going to balance out that total cost of sales there, and you're going to see an adjustment. So it's important to know kind of the difference between how your food cost acts and your beverage cost acts, because if you see a change in what, let's say, your percentage or your costs are, it might just be because maybe you're selling more of something different. All right, so moving on to question number 2. St. John's Hospital Food Service Director Herman Zindu has a problem. He has the following information about his operation for the month of April, but has forgotten how to compute cost of food sold for the month. Let's use Herman's figures to compute actual cost of food sold for his operation. All right, so let's take a look at the information that we have here. So we have his inventory on March 31st. Okay, so that means that's everything on the shelves that he has. Okay, that's flour in the pantry, it's shrimp in the freezer, it's chicken on the shelves, it's gallons of milk, whatever. It all adds up to $22,184.50. Okay, so that's March 31st, so essentially April 1st. Then he has his April purchases. Okay, so he knows he's purchased $11,000 in meat, $6,300 in dairy, about $9,600 in fruits and vegetables, and then $32,000 in all other food. Okay, so let's add that up and see what he has purchased for the entire month. So we add that up and we have our total purchases of $59,826. We do know we have 2,550 employees eating meals, and those cost about $1.25 per meal. And then we do have our ending inventory that was taken on April 30th, the end of the month. All right, so let's take that information. Let's calculate our cost of food sold. Okay, so our beginning inventory, we're just going to take that from March 31st. That was the inventory at the beginning of the month. Then we're going to input our purchases. So to get our goods available for sale, we're going to add those two together, okay? So everything that they had on their shelves, which was the 22,000, plus what they purchased, the 59,000, is what they could sell. So let's just add those two together. And we have $82,010.50 goods available for sale. Then what's our ending inventory? All right, our ending inventory is everything that was left on the shelf on April 30th. So the cost of food consumed is going to be our goods available for sale. So that's everything that we had in house minus our ending inventory. And our ending inventory is basically what's left over. Okay. Think about it kind of like when you go grocery shopping. Chances are you still have a couple. When you go grocery shopping, you have some things in the pantry, right? Maybe you've got a couple boxes of Cheez-Its, cereal. You've got some milk in the pantry. So you're not starting with zero. You add to it. And then when you go the next time, you take your ending inventory and you've probably consumed a lot of things that you purchased, but you still have some things left over. So that's your ending inventory. Then let's look at our cost of employee meals. All right, so we have $25.50 on employees eating, and we're going to multiply that by the $1.25. That's the cost of meals. All right, so we want to get our cost of food sold, not cost of food that was consumed, which is the $58,000. We didn't sell our employee meals. That's part of our benefits. So we take our cost of food consumed and we subtract out our employee meals. And that's how we're going to get our cost of food sold, okay? So there's a question down here. Could Herman have computed this figure if he had not taken physical inventory on April 30th? Why or why not? No, he couldn't. He probably could have ballparked it, but he couldn't have gotten an accurate figure, okay? Because if he does not know what's on the shelf, he knows what he purchased, he knows what people ate, but if he doesn't know what's left on the shelf, it's really going to be hard for him to get an accurate count of that. All right, question number 3. Spike Dykes operates the student food service in a dormitory at Claremont College. Spike is interested in calculating his food costs per student meal served. Data about his costs and meals served for the spring semester can be found in the following table. And let's help him complete the table. All right, so here we see we have our beginning inventory and our purchases for each of the months. Okay, so let's go through January. All right. So we start with $22,500 in beginning inventory. We make $65,000 in purchases. We want to get our goods available for sale. That will be our beginning inventory. And we're going to subtract out we're going to add our purchases. Now we have our ending inventory of $21,750. If we want to get our cost of food consumed, we'll take our goods available for sale and we're going to subtract our ending inventory. So we had $65,750 in food that was consumed. Now if we take out our employee meals, we're going to take our cost of food consumed, we're going to subtract out our employee meals, and we get a cost of food sold of $60,000. Now we know we serve 20,750 meals. So if we want to get our cost per meal, we'll take our cost of food sold and we're going to divide that by the meals served. So $2.89 per meal. All right, let's do it again in February. So our beginning inventory is 21,750. And you see that's the same number as the ending inventory for January because the inventory that you have on your ending inventory for January is your beginning inventory for February. Same thing for March, April. Your ending inventory is always the same as your beginning inventory for the next period. All right, so we're going to take our beginning inventory, we're going to add it to our purchases. We take our goods available for sale and we subtract out our ending inventory. So that's going to give us our cost of food consumed. We're going to subtract out our employee meals. And that gives us a cost of food sold of $54,500. We're going to take our cost of food sold and we're going to divide it by our meals served. That is going to give us our cost per meal. All right, so let's go ahead. Since we've done these two, we can use the same formulas for March, April, May. Okay, so I will go ahead, I will copy this. I know in one of my other classes, they asked why I don't use all of the buttons up here, and my answer is that I started using Excel back a long time ago when we didn't have all those fancy features. So it is honestly just my habit. You go ahead and use those. If they're easier for you, use those shortcuts. That's just something. Oops. We're going to go back. Someday I'll learn how to use them, but today is not the day. So, all right, we're going to copy this formula and we're going to paste it in here. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's sum up our columns here, our January, February, March, April, and May. Right, and we can use this formula because we're adding up the whole entire row. So we can add all of these and we'll get our answer. All right. Okay, so in total, we averaged about a $2.98 cost per meal. Okay, in which month did Spike achieve his lowest and highest food cost per meal? We see February at $2.71, and then our highest being in May at $3.34. All right. So Spike wants his average cost per meal for the semester to be below $3. Did he achieve his goals? Yes, he did. But look at this and make sure that as a manager, you see that you're trending up. So you might want to monitor that because you're very close to that $3 mark. And maybe compare what you're doing in April and May versus what you're doing in January and February. All right, we'll stop the video here so you can catch up, and I will see you for question number 4.